that will have to do. Secret knowledge says Captain Picard is on Futurama tonight. That sounds interesting. I haven't watched TV in a long time. But everybody loves Patrick Stewart. Eric Kaiser said, I always love running with the tuna cutlass. Yes, I have it on one of the saves that I have here. For those of you who don't know, that is a piece of downloadable content. Alright, which one of these is something mountain? There's the King's Hideout. It's probably the southwest. Yeah, we'll go southwest and see if we run into something that looks mountainous. Record. Can get through some of the brown ones of these, but not these. These are too. Yeah. Eric just says the Swarmorang was actually useful. Yes, it was. Or is. This game still exists. Oh, green lippers. That's all it's here. What is good against this? On screen. Green is weak to red. Okay. That's the color. I'm not sure if I explained this, but loopers and their multicolored variants in this game yield high experience, but have a very high rate of running away. So they're sort of like metal slimes from Dragon Warrior, only that is something. Roundhound Claw says Dreamcast! Yes! Shout it from your lungs. The Dreamcast is here. It just might be thinking. Save point. I really need to get like a scrolling ticker of the chat, like on the left side of the screen here, because having to look to the right with that tiny font, a little more distracting than it probably should be. Maybe I could get, if I came into massive amounts of money, I could build one out of like one of those LED tickers and Raspberry Pi or something, just sit on IRC. Oh crap! Alert! This is only one ad every 30 minutes or so counts. That's actually not true. You can run them as you see fit, but I think that there's like diminishing returns or something. Really should just run it whenever it's convenient. Oh no, we're trapped. This is three-year sword upward, break the glass. If only that worked. Oh, there's a champ. 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 You cannot simply jam into Mordor. There we go. Shoot the glass, yes. Oh man, I need to watch... I haven't watched the original Die Hard in a long time. It's such a good movie. We're good. Yellow. What is strong against yellow? Green. See, Rocktown Colossus, I think if you compare Die Hard to his other films, Alan Rickman was underacting. He is a very versatile actor, I think. No, loopers, don't run away. I want to kill you for your experience. JVY says, every time I see Das, I think of, I drink the beer from the glass, but that's boring. Das Boot? Oh yeah, that's more like it. Keep pouring.
We did it!
I watch it every night before I go to bed. It's actually not true. Up, and we have sort of down. Let's take a look down here first. Oh, hello. Up then. Okay. Hello. How goes it? Stream. This is Nakomi.
Hello, stream.
I actually don't know if my game volume versus mumble volume is appropriate right now. So hopefully they will tell me. I turned up the game because this game has awesome music. It does.
Well, we can just resort to yelling if all else fails.
I'm okay with that.
Sup?
What's up?
So, I did an in-depth analysis of why I like Kaon better than Asumegadeo.
More episodes?
No. Kaon doesn't have reuse of animation, whereas Asumegadeo
yeah,
has
Azumeg-
a lot.
I swear they made that thing with only 8 frames or something.
I know. They have like 4 different scenes that they just use over and over and over again and change the dialogue.
I go onto your channel page, and the first thing I see is Wrong Town Claw asking if that's Serious Sam.
Yeah.
I can only assume they're having a separate conversation.
No, they're not.
They're
Oh.
talking about you.
Wrongtown Claus is a very funny person and is able to come up with these things really spot on.
No, I understand now, but I meant I was right.
Yes.
I thought at first he was talking about Skies of Arcadia, and I was like,
Nope, that means you.
that's serious Drachma.
Captain Sexy.
That is one of my favorite Duke lines. Your face, your ass. What the difference?
Your artificial eye patch, your artificial arm, what's the difference? Artificial eye patch, what the fuck is wrong with me?
As opposed to an authentic eye patch.
There's a Cham up here.
Behind artificial eye patches, there are actually eyes.
Patches.
No. Nope. Nah. Artificial iPad. That's not what she said.
I said eye patch. Artificial iPad, that's good too. I'm okay with that.
You can get those from China.
Reminds me of that one episode of Futurama with the eye twit or something like that.
Yeah. I saw something in the stream, but now I can't see it. Secret knowledge is, oh yeah, there is this thing such as a double Dutch oven. I actually have a double Dutch oven. Or it's called a double Dutch oven.
I still
we
like
start
my
talking about
definition of
that?
that. One of those many random things that I said at random times.
Yeah, Kobe and Serious Sam. Or Serious Sam pretending to be Ko. I really am not sure which.
I still say a double Dutch oven is a good indicator that you have two dads.
You had such a troubled childhood.
But in actuality, my double Dutch oven it's a Dutch oven, but the lid is also usable as a skillet.
Wow, you must be a master of the Dutch oven if you're involving skillets and such. How does that even work?
Skill it? Skill? I don't know.
I wish I was the voice actor for Serious Sam. I wouldn't mind having that on my resume.
Greeting.
Greetings.
Greetings.
That's how you beat Battlehead.
Greetings.
Yes, I did.
Didn't take too much time, actually. I was impressed.
Nope. That last area wasn't too bad. Last two bosses were not that hard.
Well, I think with the damage amp, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, twice as much hits on... Especially the time-stopping one would have
Yeah.
been twice as much time to kill him, which means twice as many chances for a mistake. Actually, yeah. Twice as many chances for a mistake in time... It's exponential in science, and it would have been a lot harder.
Science interferes and makes things more difficult.
Yes.
It's a problem of balance.
It's a problem
Because-
of...
He put
cupcakes.
he put the Care Bear Queen in the middle of the game,
Yeah.
which is the hardest boss.
Yeah, I actually think Zed might have been as hard. I don't know, because you could get a lot more hits in on Zed, which is
That's the thing about Zed, yeah. Like you can, and I even mentioned that when I was playing. You might have heard me when I was just like, he wasn't frustrating because I could actually get some damage in on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what the fuck was up with the disgruntled seahorses?
Yeah, the what are they called? Actually, they're just called seahorse turrets. They were easy. Very easy.
Zombie seahorse turrets?
No, they were just seahorse turrets. They were mechanical.
That's disappointing.
Wait a minute. Zombies, zombie cyborgs?
Zombie seahorse. No. That was horrible.
I'm pretty sure zombie cyborgs. Nope, Michael isn't here. It is myself, Nakomi, Co-Star, and Cilantro.
No.
No?
It's myself, Nakomi, Detroit, and Cilantro.
Okay, yeah. That version is better.
No, it's me, myself, and Irene, and I, and co-star Detroit, and Nakomi, and Sneezy, and Bashful, and Blitzen, Donner, and Carol, and Steve, Bill, and Ted. And an excellent adventure.
Jim Carrey's a douche. Just throwing that out there.
Never met him.
Don't have to.
He makes horrible movies. A lot.
That's not why.
But he did, really. I mean,
Did he actually do something recently? Like, did he punch Rihanna or something?
My problem with him is that he was all anti-vaccine.
What? Oh,
he
oh.
was. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's one of those.
I think people gotta be so crazy and stuff.
They can
I
afford.
don't know.
They can afford to be.
I got a big pile of money over here that says you should listen to what I think about things that I don't know anything about.
Yeah, well, I want pimp chopsticks. So cute. Anyway. So how's it going?
How's it going? It's going pretty good.
My Hello Kitty wallet is ripping.
It's bursting with
It's making me
cash.
sad. No. If only.
Yeah.
You don't want to tangle with Drachma's crystal fingers.
I love how it's 4 too. Like he could totally, and they're spaced well enough that he could do 4 at once. I'm just saying. I wonder if they vibrate.
They screw on. So they're easily replaced.
I'm
with
actually
other
now
things.
imagining him holding that over a fire with like a hot dog on each one, and just like spins.
What?
It's like a hot dog rotisserie.
Wait, that's his move? He has a hand that looks like that, and his move is a bitch slap?
No. Yeah.
Why even have fingers? Why doesn't he just have a big, solid steel hand?
That is.
Just without movable parts, just boom, big hand.
I actually think that's one of them that you get later.
Like a gauntlet. I want him to have a rocket gauntlet.
What would that even do?
It would shoot out.
It would
hit
fire
something,
off
and then it would come
once.
back. It would like have a chain that would reel it back afterwards.
Come back. Oh, reelable chain. I hadn't considered that. I was thinking something more humorous, where he fires off the gauntlet and it just never comes back. It just falls on the ground.
Take
Oh,
that,
he has to
Scorfax.
go retrieve it. He has to run up and be like, sorry, here, hold on.
I vote for take that, Scorpex.
Take that, Scorpex. Scorpex.
You do remember
Oh.
that. It's
No,
a PBF.
I'm forgetting.
A PBF comic where it's like Voltron, only it turns into a giant guy,
Right.
and then it's like
What's funny is that I thought of the wrong PBF. I thought of Scorpy,
oh,
which is what I always think of.
Scorpion. Oh god, I love that one.
You want to play a game of Tail Touch? Come on, Scorpy, join in. What was it like? There was the bear was dead or something.
Yeah, looked like somebody's out earlier or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Teddy had to take a nap or something.
Like, yeah, today I had to take a nap. Yeah. I think my favorite PBF is for some reason it's the one where there's like the kids and they're like skipping school. And there's the fucking truancy bot. It's got like a T on his chest with like the no sign through it. And they're like, you should be in school. They're like, go eat a dick, truancy bot. Fucking love that line.
He beat their faces in.
Yup.
Goddamn PBF was the shit.
yeah.
One of my favorites is always the turtle one, where there's that guy, there's a turtle in a bowl on a table, and he's reading a book that says how to care for your turtle. And then a woman comes in from the door behind him and says, let's do it and never stop. Her hair blowing in the wind. And then later, the last panel just shows a dead turtle. So great. So fucking genius.
Together we can rebuild my kingdom.
Oh, which one was that?
The guy that comes out of the ocean with the kid and he's sitting there building a sandcastle.
The pedophile.
The pedophile guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We did it!
So Jim Carrey is an anti-vaccinator.
Yeah,
What the
I know.
hell?
It's a sad day. Yeah, he has been for a long time. It's really, it's Jenny McCarthy.
What?
I don't know what the deal is. I think that she adopted an autistic kid
And blamed it
and-
on.
and blamed it on vaccines. But I think that she knew he was autistic when she got him, or something. I don't know the story. I'm making this sound even worse than it probably is.
He's married to Jenny McCarthy.
No, I think she is his concubine. I have no idea. I do know that they were together in some capacity, and she was the real anti-vaccine maniac, or at least the primary one. But he definitely voiced the same stuff that she would say.
Oh. Which is common in some relationships. When people have no brain, the other partner fills up space. And apparently neither of them have brain, so they both. It's like a water clock or some sort of like set of siphons where you pour like water into the top and then it ends up in various spots.
Okay. You just made me think of. Remember those little handheld games with the rings in the water?
Rings in the water.
You push the button and it blows air in there, and then the
I
rings go
remember
around.
those.
And you try to get them on the little hooks and stuff. That was my first. Those were essentially my first Game Boy,
Yep.
I have no
along with
memories.
the magnet beard guy and stuff.
Oh, I remember Magnet Beard Guy where you look, it's Abe Lincoln. Look, it's Karl
You have
Marx.
to remember the little bubble things.
I am acquiring picture stuffer. Hold on. Oh yeah, first try. Waterfall ring toss. For Game Boy, it was this.
Oh, these.
Yeah.
I remember these.
Hang on, I gotta see this. What?
I never
They're missing-
remember one actually having its label still intact, though. It was always scraped off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, back when my parents used to try to force me to go to church all the time, well, they would because I was a kid. I had these at like the Sunday school thingy.
This is the same exact story as my life story. Continue, please.
Pretty much. Like, you should hang out with Jesus. He's got ring games with water. It's awesome.
Oh, mine was kind of inverted. Jesus was boring, so they gave me a ring toss.
There you go. Well, that's it.
But it's Jesus in the Amazing Technicolor Ring Toss.
It is technicolored. What other nostalgic bullcrap can I drudge up?
Did you have as much of a good time in Boy Scouts as I did?
Eh, fuck Boy Scouts.
Alright, man, we really are identical twins, Cup.
Does anybody else remember Transformers for Poor Kids? Bunch of Transformers? Anybody?
Nope.
Oh man.
Dude, at
They
the
look
end of...
like this.
Give me strength.
Gotta check this out. At the end of Battle Kid, what happens if you go to the left? Like, if you don't have the 4 key.
Apparently, it's a bad ending.
Ah,
Because you can get there without getting the 4 key.
yeah.
GoBots. GoBots were horrible. They didn't even use guns.
Oh man, I had this thing. I had this thing. Hold on. It's the best. Bam. GoBots Command Center. Look at that.
Why am I imagining that the GoBots command?
Hell yeah. For kids who couldn't get pets.
Robo Puppy.
Alright,
Did
I
you-
need
wait,
to
wait,
link
wait,
this to
wait.
the stream.
It gets better. Because it turned into a man.
It
Look
looks-
at it.
Oh.
It turned into one of those dudes from Easter Island.
I see that.
Oh, yes. I'm glad we started looking this stuff up. Oh, I gotta find the. I had a watch. I had a. I don't know if it was Transformers or GoBots or if it was just generic. But it was a watch that turned into a car that turned into a man. Probably never gonna find that. One of my favorite toys when I was a kid was, I think it was another GoBot. It was a little dude that turned into a train engine. But not a modern train engine, like an old style one. You know what was really fucking awesome about him? He was made out of solid fucking steel.
Oh yeah.
He was as small as my hand, but he weighed like antimatter.
Actually, antimatter doesn't have any weight.
No, it has negative weight.
Where light is heavy and heavy is light.
Where Scoot is heavy and heavy is Scoot.
Oh yes.
I know it's a YouTube link. Is this the GoBots intro?
Damn straight.
Oh god, the GoBots.
They borrowed their guns from G.I. Joe's.
don't know, I always remember GoBots being Transformers for people who weren't people.
Transformers for poor kids!
Basically.
That's what I was saying. It's budget Transformers. Off-brand, you know.
Yeah. It's the,
Challenge of the GoBot.
it's the Walt Tussin of,
It's called Medicines.
yeah.
Go Tussin.
Yes.
Hey, what are you doing over there? Okay. Apparently, left my headphones on my computer, making too much noise. Oh yeah, extra cham.
Oh shit. What is this? Here comes the GoBot Command Center.
You ever consider doing like stop motion, this kind of stuff, where it just like walks around? It looks like a gorge from Natural Selection, the GoBot Command Center. It just like waddles over, shaking its fat butt, and then suddenly a tower emerges.
Oh, they were by Tonka? Or did Tonka just make the toys?
I have no idea.
The top comment is, I think I still have that piece of shit. Is it that bad? It inspires hatred immediately upon seeing it.
I don't know.
Yeah, fine, I'll buy it. Ugh. Fucking hate this command center.
Did you ever have She-Ra's Castle? Everyone had She-Ra's Castle that I knew, because it was literally.
I was not into He-Mans.
I also had the Thundercat lair, which was fucking awesome.
The what now?
The Cat's lair,
Oh, okay.
like the arms raised, if I remember right.
I don't know. I was too busy with my turtle van and the pizza tank and the turtle blab.
There were so many turtles actually, because I love how their arms would like you could twist their hands completely around and pull them off.
That's so they could wind up their super punch.
Yeah.
Learned that from cartoons.
How to break your wrist.
Oh, your shoulder, really. Don't turn like that. I think I had a section of sewer as well. I also had those little bins of shit that was designed to stain and ruin anything it ever touched. The goo.
Oh, yeah, I
I was
remember.
never allowed to use it, ever. I don't know why my mom would even buy that stuff. She'd buy it and show it to me, and then she'd put it on a cabinet I couldn't reach. Be like, I got that for you so you could never use it. Let this be a lesson to you. I don't understand. Why didn't we leave it at the store? Fucking moms. I won't ever say that sentence again.
I left crayons in the car and then they melted to the seat. And the seat was.
That only half broadcasted.
Oh, sorry.
The seat was Pyrovision after that.
Pretty much, yeah. It was kind of awesome.
Man, I always wanted to use that ooze so bad too.
Oh, it was
That was
nasty.
why. I know, but like, that's what they showed on TV in the commercial, and it was like, that's why I wanted this. I want to pour the ooze on the little turtles, and then take the little turtles out and put the big turtles in, and be like, yeah, mutagen. I never got to do that. I'm hoping that there's some nerds somewhere that have some of the original ones, like preserved in nitroglycerin or
Or
whatever.
whatever it takes.
Yeah, so that's still well, because those things over time,
It would dry out, right?
yeah, it would turn into some kind of horrible. It would reduce itself back to whatever it was before the toy company got a hold of it.
It would walk away.
Plutonium or something. It had a
That's how they made
half-life of
Ectocooler.
like 6 months. Oh, oh,
I went right there,
what a
didn't I?
thought! What a thought! Like they would wait for toy mutagen to dry out, and then that's the powder that they use. We don't have enough money to make toys for 2 shows. We're gonna have to reuse some of this goop.
Is it over already?
That means that there was somewhere a factory with a huge vat of mutagen in it, just like in the cartoons. Like semi-clear green goop. It was being squirted into all these little buckets. It's fucking funny. Man, oh man. So much weird toys. Remember all the weird fucking board games? Actually, there was a lot of awesome stuff. Do you remember the thing with the Did you guys ever have that toy that had the little penguins on wheels?
No.
And it would truck them around, and then they would go down a slide, and then it would take them back up to the top again, and they would go down a slide. It was like the loudest thing ever, just like all electronics from those days.
No, but it reminds me of Mice Trap, which was like the most pointless game ever. 45 minutes to set up, 3 seconds to play.
Yeah, did anyone ever actually play that the way it was supposed to be played?
Yes, once.
You're like, oh, there's like pieces and movement, and instead it's just like, no, I just want to set the thing off.
Yeah, I'm talking about these things. Surely you guys know these things here.
Let's look at these. Penguins on a slide. No,
You never saw one of
those
those?
are completely alien to me.
Come on, Sil.
May be disappointing you here.
It was just you. Now, if it's like Trivial Pursuit Genus 2, or Hungry Hungry Hippos, or what else was around then? That
Okay, alright. You don't know the penguin one. What about this one? I know you know this one.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Play the
Yeah.
shit out of that. To dual wield that shit. Get on my level, son! I'm catching fish, what do you got?
We should make the birding version of it.
Oh, birding is the joke that just keeps on giving.
Chalets. I'm sure you guys remember electric race sets.
oh, I do. I think we may have had one.
Another one
Or
of those toys that your
someone had
parents
one.
would never let you use.
What kind?
I gotta use it all the
Electric
time.
race set. Track racers.
Those things went like 40 miles an hour in the house,
Yeah.
and we would
That's
like,
why after the first time and you shoot one off into the wall, your parents are like, yeah, this is going in the attic. Never to be seen again.
I think maybe my dad liked it the most.
I never
Oh, I'm
had
sure,
one.
yeah. That's the fucked up thing about my childhood is that my parents would get me these things and then put them in the attic after showing them to me.
The hell?
Why-
I
why-
think
why would you
that
do
makes
that?
a lot of sense with your mom's mentality.
I don't remember wrecking things. I remember one time.
Honey, look at what she does with Pampered Chef. It's
Wait,
no
wait,
different.
I-
That's
yeah,
for her.
but-
Did
Well,
you
no,
live in
but
like a
these are
house
toys, though.
where there was like nothing but plastic on the furniture and stuff?
No, it wasn't like that. No, it wasn't. It wasn't to that degree. Like the only thing I can remember that I like really fucked up was I once sent an electric train into the fireplace. And not one of those modern ones, like a fucking heavy one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It like went through the chainmail and into the fireplace.
Through the chainmail.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, they had those chainmail curtains.
I know what you mean, but
Yeah.
I love that you call it
Okay.
chainmail.
But that they are, though.
I would just call it like wire mesh or something.
It's not, though.
Cage.
It's mail. It is chainmail.
Demon Herman says,
Yep.
serious question, who among us has never tread on a Lego brick? Or trod? That stuff hurts.
Oh.
What?
I only have 1 foot. Lost my other to an entire box. I just cut it off right then and there.
It was like a
With
Lego
a-
bear trap.
With a knife that I made out of Legos. I had those Lego briefcases.
I
They
still
were
have-
like red and they looked like a...
Yeah, I have one in my closet. It still has like grape jelly embedded on it. From like
Oh, yeah.
1988.
Yeah. I had a smaller one that was banished to my closet after I filled it up with spaghetti one time.
Oh.
Spaghetti from my stomach. It wasn't like I took it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah. One of those things.
Man.
Left my Legos out and then I woke up in the middle of the night.
I know what I'm not
Boom.
eating tomorrow.
Legos?
Spaghetti.
Oh, I mean spaghetti? Oh, ew. That's what kids do. Half your childhood is spent puking up spaghetti and shit.
I will admit that is kind of how it went.
See, I only remember 3 times that I actually threw up as a child. I mean,
I was-
I'm sure I did more, but
Wasn't that all that often for me either. But there's always one time, I think, in everybody's childhood where they destroy something that they cared about with the contents of their stomach. Either, you know, some
No.
favorite toy or a book or a relationship or something.
Let's see. Last time I
I did-
threw up was 2nd grade. My mom bought me Fantasia on VHS because it just could come out of the Disney vault.
Oh, no
I
wonder.
remember that.
And
I meant the Fantasia, not the your mom
yeah.
buying it for you kind of thing. But
So how was that related for real?
yeah,
It was just-
I
it was-
thought you stopped because I said something.
Oh, it was the last time I threw up. Just saying. When I was recovering from being sick, I watched like Fantasia on loop with like a fever of 103.
Ah, that probably made it worse.
Made it a lot better. You kidding?
Ah, okay. I have like things that I don't do or won't watch and stuff like that because I have associated them with sickness. It was a long time before I could eat spaghetti again.
Oh yeah, I've done that before where I felt sick after eating some spaghetti. I was like,
I can't eat pecan rolls. We're not going to go into that one.
okay.
I didn't even know about this. I want to know.
Camera
It just
Man
involves pecan rolls, and that's that.
Cambria Man says, given Dude's alcohol tolerance, I'm surprised it hasn't happened more recently.
So wait, you seriously haven't thrown up since 2nd grade?
Yep.
Wow.
Wait a minute, Cambrian man. Wouldn't everything surprise you?
I just like had a flashback to Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer from SNL, where it was Phil Hartman with like they gave him like prosthetic brow ridges and stuff, so he looked like a caveman, or like a Neanderthal or whatever. And his argument was always like he was always like talking on his cell phone and being all modern stuff, but then he would always go like, I don't understand this modern society. I'm just a caveman. Where I'm from, this wouldn't happen, and that's how he won his cases. But anyway. Poor Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Proof number 1 that you shouldn't stick your dick in crazy.
Either that or be a comedian on SNL in the 90s.
Well, his wife killed him.
Whoosh.
But then that
Like half of them died.
Let's see, we lost Chris Farley, Jim Belushi.
Adam Sandler, David Spade.
But they're still alive.
No,
Not their careers.
You will say you wish they were dead. Yeah.
Their careers died in the 90s.
I would say that was good in
Nothing but failures.
I'll think of something. Click was kind of cute.
Whatever. True star of that movie was Troy Crews. Or Terry Crews, I mean. Troy,
Terry Crews,
what the hell?
man.
He truly is.
You guys saw that thing that's been going around with him on it? The fucking
Musical muscles.
Musical muscles. Shit's
seen
hilarious. Dude, I didn't realize he was fucking President Camacho.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I had
not
that
click.
same problem yesterday. I was like, holy shit. I've seen
Yep.
this guy all over the place. I never knew it was him.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Over there.
President Camacho?
From
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Oh, the President of America.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is it over already?
Or some other board games from hell. I had, I don't know if anybody is, this one's probably too obscure, but I had a game of sorts that probably fall in the board game category where you had two not exactly remote control cars that you were supposed to drive into each other until they broke apart. It was kind of like supposed to be a demolition derby.
But it was just plastic snaps that fell off.
Yeah, they had parts that were supposed to pop off, but they were connected to wires, though. That was a crappy thing. And the wires, I think I recall them being suspended from something. It was like horrible. I also had mobile junk. Mobile? Mobile?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I always thought it was like European Legos.
Oh! Yeah, I don't mean MOBIL, and they're Lego compatible, but not exactly.
Yeah. Also, that was before I knew that Legos were European.
Hey,
To justify that statement there.
America. Fuck yeah.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded to me like you said, hey, Orca, fuck yeah.
I said America, fuck yeah. Which is pretty much the same
okay.
thing. Same,
Sure,
same,
yeah.
same number of syllables as Orca, fuck yeah.
Killer whale! Killer whale jumps out of the ocean, eclipses the sun, sparkling water flying everywhere. America, fuck yeah.
And the rainbow generated by the sparkling water in the sun is actually a red, white, and blue America.
That's what an election looks like.
Yep.
In your soul.
Forces of evil versus the forces of good. Even though they're all just shitty politicians.
Toys, 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 toys.
Speaking of toys, that movie was terrible. It's like Robin Williams' worst movie.
I never saw that.
Don't.
Okay. I won't. I'm trying to think of other toys that I had that you could hurt people with. By the way, to the whole, like, stuff that was mine but I couldn't have and it was in the attic thing, I probably have, like... This is what made it really weird. It kept getting me these things. So, I don't have just one electric track car set. I have, like, 10 of them. That are probably mostly pristine because they were never fucking used. Maybe they got set up one time. And electric trains, too. Same story.
That's weird. It's like they wanted to get you that, but didn't. Wait, I don't understand.
I think it was some like logical failure of someday we'll set these up somewhere. It just never happened. And by the time I could have done something with them myself, I didn't care anymore, I guess. Something. Or I had a Nintendo and it was like, no other toy matters. I would get like mad if I got anything but games from that point forward. And thus, I really didn't have very many toys.
If only you could have convinced your parents to sell all that old crap in the attic for more games.
I know, right?
Maybe they did.
I had a
It's
lot
not
of
too
games,
late.
though.
Oh, no. They wouldn't.
No, yeah, my mom would never part with anything if she could help it. Major pack rat. But,
the only way I think she would let us take it is if we told her that, like, we wanted to set up a vintage game room from when he was a kid or something.
Oh no, my stuff, she would let me take my stuff. There's no question about that. She's not going to give a shit about the electric toys and whatever. But, I forgot what I was going to say. I was thinking of something. Oh, I had a lot of games for that time. I had like 50 Nintendo games, while most kids I knew...
Had like 4 to 6.
Well, most kids I knew didn't even have a Nintendo. There was like one other kid I knew who was my age and had a similar amount of games, and it was like a competition. Like we would come to school in the morning and we'd be like, I got another game. I have 51 now. It's like, oh, okay, all right. Kick to the nuts.
Yeah, I think the only...
The same...
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say the same kid that would say that shit to me would also take my Mega Man drawings and then write his name on them
What a dick.
and then show them to people.
You need to look at him on like Facebook and see what kind of horrible shithead he is today.
He's not really. I mean, he's just like...
He grew out of his shitheadedness.
He's one of those people that was just on a rail. So I think he just went straight on, like, college and then, making a little family of douchebags. And that's it.
I'm glad everyone
Like,
is okay.
absolutely, just 100% mediocrity. Boom.
I desire a college education, a job, a house, and 2.6 children.
That's
Yeah,
totally
so
Droopy Dog.
He went to Ohio State. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those kids that was going to Ohio State from, like, kindergarten forward.
I'm a Buckeye.
You sure are.
I based my entire existence around where I was born. That's it.
Pretty
That's
much.
all I care about forever.
Actually, even since like the 5th grade, we had that whole like Ohio State versus Michigan thing.
Oh, God.
And I'd
Yeah.
always pick Michigan because I liked blue better than red. Like that was my
That's
my
why kids
rationale
do
for all of
things.
it.
Yeah. That's
You're not a
the
real
way we did
patriot.
things when we were kids.
Not a local patriot. Oh my god.
I just picked whatever would make people near me quit fucking asking me about it.
But
Yeah, but then they would be like, "Yo, did you see that game from the?" That's always how it would go, and then you're just making stuff up. Like, I never knew what they were talking about sports-wise. So
You know what?
Of
You know what blew
course,
my
Jimmy
mind?
could have gotten to the end field quicker. I mean, what the hell was he thinking?
baseball doesn't have an infield. Fucking
Ah.
dork.
Fucking
Well,
No,
it
I
always
mean,
blew my
that's what
mind,
it's-
like, working, like, factory jobs back in my hometown, like, people would get into fucking high school football. I'm talking, like, 40
Oh,
and
God,
50-year-old
yeah.
people that don't have kids. They're like, yeah, fucking Fremont Ross high school football, it's great.
yeah.
Like, holy shit, are you just on the verge of suicide or something? I want to make sure you're going to be okay there, bro, because, Jesus.
I'm pretty sure we had it worse over in Tiffin.
Quite possibly.
Fucking tornadoes, man. There's a whole lot of that fucking inbred hyper pride nonsense. Everything was geared around playing football at my high school. Everything else didn't matter. It all
Didn't our
was
team
getting
kind of
cut.
suck ass too?
Maybe when you were there, but unfortunately, while I was there and before I got there, it was sort of like we were the team around Northwest Ohio or whatever. In fact, we were trying to branch out. We were trying to have the band too. Trying to do all that crap, like where they send high school bands to parades and bullshit. Ugh.
Well, keep in mind, I don't think I could ever tell you if we won a game or not, just because I never paid attention.
I wasn't paying that close attention either. Usually you just pick up on whatever the vibe is. Like, if your team sucks, you'll basically, you know, the overall vibe of your school will be like this mopey, whiny, we're Bucyrus and we suck. That kind of thing.
Cyrus in general kind of sucks.
They sucked at everything. They sucked at soccer. In fact, whenever we would play them, it would be amazing if enough players showed up for them to play. So most of the time they were at the bottom of the pile. Yes, I played soccer.
Cyrus.
That sounds horrible.
What?
That
Playing
they
soccer?
couldn't even field a full team.
I'm kind of... I think I remember being glad when they couldn't, because when they did, I seem to remember them being violent. Like, there were more injuries when we would play against them, I think. You would not believe how fucked up soccer can get.
Oh yeah.
Particularly high school soccer, because it's just... A lot of people's approach is to just kick the shit out of you, and if you take the ball from them, they'll kick the shit out of you even more.
I don't know, but back to having lots of games. I never really had, as a kid, that many games on a single system. It was always sort of spread out. Oh, no, except for the 2600. We had like 70 Atari 2600 games like before I was even born.
Well, remember, you reached, I don't know what to call it, electronics maturity at a much earlier age than most of the rest of us.
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
Well, when I was 5, I didn't know what a Nintendo was until my parents just happened to, like, that was a present that I got. I can't remember if it was my birthday or Christmas or what, but boom, Nintendo was in my life at that moment. I didn't know about it beforehand. I don't even think I saw a commercial. I don't think I even knew that I wanted the thing. But by that point, you were probably already writing a wiki about it. When you were 8, you knew more about computers in some ways than I do now. But you somehow had access to these things. Like, you did not have a normal... As far as electronics go, you didn't have a normal childhood. You got access to stuff that none of the rest of us did. Or very few
You
of the
were
rest of us.
advanced.
Yeah.
It's not stupid. It's advanced.
I do remember one
I'm
time...
envious.
Well, when I was in...
Sorry.
Hold on, I think I was in like 2nd grade. And, I got called to the library, and I'm like, why are they calling me to the library? I was like completely confused, like I did something wrong, and they wanted me to fix a computer in there. It was really weird. Thought I was in trouble.
Yeah, I wish I would have had that kind of... Well, you know, I technically could have had the, a similar experience if anybody around me gave a shit about what I wanted to do and what I was interested in. I don't know how my parents could see that I have a like extreme interest in computers and such, and just ignore that and be like, you're going to spend all of your time playing piano and going to church. What? Come on! When I was a real little kid, I was fucking around with computers, and they never like indulged that at all. And if anything, they kept me from it as long as possible until I was able to get stuff for myself. Pretty much.
Because if you think about it, even during that era, I mean, the Commodore 64, like something like that, was only like $200 or something like that.
Well, that wasn't the only home computer either. Like
Yeah.
kit computers and stuff. There was a lot of that stuff.
But I just mean in terms of
Tandy had stuff.
if it was a straight up price thing.
Well, sure. I'm just no. Well, that's the thing, though, is that they had things. My dad actually had multiple Apple IIe computers because he had his own company at the time, and we had money at the time as well. He had multiple, early laptops, where tiny little screen, big, huge, meaty thing.
Which kind? Because with the CRT, with the STN LCDs, orange gas plasma displays.
The orange ones, the orange ones.
Yes. So the Compaq used those a lot. So were they Compaqs?
Probably.
Those things look so cool. Because you're like, oh my god, what is this?
They only had like DOS on it, if I recall.
Yeah.
I don't think they had anything else. But yeah, I had access to things, but I wasn't allowed to do much of anything, and nobody would teach me anything. And they didn't care. Like they really stunted my knowledge and my ability to advance in computing. I advanced a lot of my own, but then I guess the other thing that stunted my computer knowledge was fucking video games.
But video games are the motivation.
They're also procrastination.
Because you kind of want to figure out how they did that.
Yeah, I always kind of did, but I always felt like I couldn't. So I didn't. That was my problem.
Let's see, X213L says, "Do you happy?" Question mark. I'm doing okay. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Secret knowledge, because I'm sure they just thought it was a phase you're going through, Co. Because I don't think my dad never actually sat me down for instruction on computers. It was all just the willingness to let me poke around, which I think your parents may not have done because they locked your stuff in the attic.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't mean for them. I mean, they were retarded, so they couldn't have taught me anything. But they prevented me from being able to learn more. They didn't cultivate my obvious, intense interest, on the level of passion for computers. Any time that I could, I was getting onto the computers and messing around with them.
Yeah, I remember enjoying, on our, TRS-80, just entering in a whole bunch of characters and then just holding the backspace to erase the characters. That was, fascinating to me when I was 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Jesus.
What?
I don't get that. We didn't have a computer at home when I was 3 or 4, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we got one at my house till I was 6 or 7.
There's a story, which is apparently true, where when I was less than 1 year old, I was bouncing up and down on top of a computer keyboard. Just jumping on it. In fact, that very same TRS-80, and then the next day my dad went out and got this very stiff acrylic keyboard cover for it.
Yeah, I think unfortunately I may have caused my dad to have to do a rebuild of his machine.
I caused that once or twice.
Too many times. I don't know how many times I caused that. I did a lot of... I caused a lot of computer rebuilds in that age range.
That was fun.
But again, that's common. I guess if it's always work focused, but things stick a lot better in your memory when you screw up.
Well, no, that may be why they kept me away from the computers. The abstinence approach to computer safety. You can't break it if you can't touch it.
God's watching.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, go to bed.
Right. What are you gonna do for your after shows now that Battle Kid's gone?
I don't know. I'm tempted to pick up another pseudo-challenging game. I might just go back to doing Binding of Isaac for a while until I figure out, or Portal 2 until I figure out what to do. But we definitely need to bagel Battle Kid 2 when that comes up.
Oh yeah. That's actually gonna be difficult because I don't think anyone here has capture devices, but for me and working NESs. Actually, Co, you work on NES, right? And I need to deliver the
Yeah,
device.
I have a spare address as well.
Yes.
Might try to go to a flea market or something, see if I can pick one up. Be awesome.
I'm gonna get a hand me up.
Alright. We shall see. But until then, fleeting.
Flippins.
Fleeting Sill.
Let's see what stream chat's saying. Let's see, Runtime Colossus, my parents just thought it was a hobby, but would still get a real job. I was probably 21 before they took it seriously. That's really weird.
What? Took what seriously?
That the computers. Because 20 years ago,
Well,
people were taking that stuff seriously. Yes, I think so.
When was that?
You know, I think Runtime Claus is in his mid-20s. So, that would have been... maybe like the early 90s, right?
Oh yeah. No, my parents never took him seriously. They never did. My dad, when he was in university, they had these extremely advanced computers, these punch card machines, that he sort of learned on a bit, but then he sort of blew it off like, it's never gonna matter. He had a friend who got into it and went on to become a multimillionaire. And they still sort of just blew it off like it was nothing. Like, computers don't matter. So that's why they just, for whatever reason, never took them seriously and never bothered to really learn them.
They can't handle the nerds.
Yeah, they can barely use them.
Like
So if you had
nerds.
nerdy parents, you probably had a better opportunity to experience that stuff. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my mom
PS1.
was nerdy, but my dad is / was definitely a nerd.
Yeah, the fax machine story kind of cinches that up.
Oh yeah, and he has a collection of slide rules. And let's see. He frequently tells a fairly detailed story about the first time he used a calculator in the 70s.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of people who have those stories.
A calculator you could put in your pocket? Unfathomable.
Of course, by pocket calculator, it's like
Size of a desk or a tabletop.
it's like trying to stuff 3 SNES cartridges in your pants.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents were not nerds. Not
My
at
dad
all.
was kind of a nerd.
Secret knowledge was my parents met in a cult. They got better though. Huh. Glad they did, because
Sounds like your Dutch oven is running in the background.
no, it was my
Better keep an eye on that thing.
Your double Dutch oven.
I assume it was the Rumble Pack on my Dreamcast.
Well, Dutching all over the place.
G1 Harmon is asking which term is more preferable, nerd or geek? There's a subtle
Depends.
Well, they're technically different things.
yeah. There's a distinction in English.
Geeks have to do with technology. Nerds have to do, I
Have to
think,
with
with
D&D.
Is it D&D or is it book things in general?
I guess it's in general. There's a lot of variants.
I mean, because you can be a food geek, but you can't really be a food nerd. Actually, you can still be a food nerd, but it's harder.
So geek is about technical, nerd is about fictional, and dork is about social. I guess they're all really about social, though. Right?
Dork has never been rehabilitated.
It doesn't qualify?
It's not a rehabilitated word.
No, not really. Well, no, it kind of is. There's people that will call themselves a dork.
Well, yeah,
I call myself a dork.
It's usually self-deprecating then instead of like geek and nerd.
Well,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm a geek, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, but the people
I'm a
who do
hipster.
that are not geeks and nerds. They're fake geeks and nerds.
Like freaking Geek Squad and Nerd Herd or whatever you want to call it. It's apparently a dork
like how
is whale genitalia, which I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
is,
Yes, it is.
I have heard before.
They would tell you these things so that you could, like, bend yourself, but it's like always... That's the last thing that's ever going to work for defending yourself. 'Cause then people will just be like, yeah, that's what you are. Only a dork like you would know that. You are correct. I will now go and climb into my locker.
Oh, yes, quite right. Crumpleton climbs into his locker. He's like, Well, I've built my electroluminescent display in here so I can keep studying while locked in the locker.
Did you know that a dude is an overgrown elephant ass hair?
I've heard that so many times. I have no idea if that's actually true.
I think that's actually a myth.
Okay.
But I will check.
Because I heard that exact same thing. Normally you hear like a variant of it, but no, literally, it's always an elephant's butt hair.
This is probably the best Wikipedia entry ever. The picture that they chose for the dude page is just awesome.
Alright.
He's dubbed King of the
I
Dudes.
wish I could see it.
He's pictured in 1888 in the New York American at the time of the Battle of the Dudes.
He's wearing
Is this a parody
tights.
page?
He's wearing tights.
He is. But he's King of the Dudes, so you can do that.
Pirates of old, defend our cause!
There's no mention of hair on the page, so I'm gonna have to check for disambiguation. Not seeing anything else, so I'm gonna have to check the dictionary. It is also not in the dictionary, so I think that's just a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, why would there be a specific word for an elephant's butt hair anyway? That doesn't make sense. They would just call it, you know, an ingrown hair, regardless of whether the animal it's on.
Nakomi asks, why is there a special name for a whale penis?
You ever seen one? If you had, you'd know.
I think it's the best possible. I mean, I think whoever came up with that word for that usage was making a joke.
Probably.
You want to smoke so I can yell at you because you're in trouble?
Uh-oh.
I am not in trouble.
You're in trouble.
I am not in trouble.
You are so in trouble.
I stacked some water.
No, he stacks water 8 cases high.
8?
Meanwhile, 8 cases
But
high.
3 is the
There
max.
is no. Yes, I know.
Don't encourage.
So I get a water out and the whole thing's falling over. I'm like, hey babe, this is falling over. Help me. It's falling on top of me. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, seriously, it's falling over. And he's like, no, it's fine. He says it 3 times. So I let go. It falls over. Then he turns around and gives me a look like, well, why did you let it fall over?
I thought you were
Fucking
joking.
jackass. No, it was falling over. Why would I joke?
How would I know? I thought you were joking.
After 3 times? 3 times.
It wasn't 3 times.
I asked you, you were like, no, it's fine. 3 times.
You're in trouble.
That's
Exactly.
fine.
And then I like made a comment and he's like, she has a question. It's like, it's not a question.
I was just joking.
Cause
Get
you're
off
a
my
jerk.
ass. Not a jerk.
There's 2 more cases in the hallway. You can pick those up.
Fine.
I'm gonna have a smoke.
Pirates of old, defend our cause!
Yeah, he's really in trouble. It's gonna be awesome. Santa Claus says you can't live with them. You can't live without water falling on them. Truths, man. So many truths. I actually use the restroom. Let's see, I'll give it one more round.
Pirates of old, defend our cause!
Santa Claus says, I am wise beyond my years. See what you did there? Yep, and restroom will be a separate break.
was easy.
Alright. To the restroom. Mike the guy in the hat says, well, I figured I would stop by and say goodnight. Goodnight. Actually, it's work. Hope I find a way to get those monies. Yeah, I would like to. Anyway, restroom time. Hopefully you heard that because I said it's time. I'm back. Where's my controller? There it is. Please be a safe point in one of these stupid doors. Yes, Glyphomite. Actually, what the hell does Glyphomite do? Ah, what's his face? G-Man Harmon says our lives need a Game Shark. Some people seem to have that. Let's see, Secret Knowledge says, I still remember the Game Genie. I have a couple of Game Genies around here. Which ones do I have? There's a Game Boy Game Genie. Where's my Game Boy Game Genie? It's around here somewhere. Got a Genesis Game Genie and a Game Gear Game Genie.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. And yeah, seriously, I never stack those more than 3 high. And even that's pretty rare. Usually it's just 2 high.
I was wrong. It was only 6. It wasn't 8.
Well, still 6 is absurdly high.
I know.
G-Man Herman says cheat codes are fun once you beat the games, but they've virtually disappeared. Sometimes you can do like weird things with cheat codes or game genies that you couldn't do before. Like sometimes it'd be fun to sort of like get all the abilities in, say, Super Metroid at the beginning. That way you can sort of experience what it's like to sequence break without actually having to be all that skilled at the bomb jumps. Or those shine spark jumps.
Here goes! Over there!
J-Man Armor says, well, that too, I won't lie. Or flipping wall jump, gremlin wall jumps. Yes, those were difficult, especially the first time you encounter them. Because they don't work the way you're used to with wall jumps. I mean, like, in Ninja Gaiden, wall jumping is easy. I mean, it's very forgiving, where Super Metroid, you have to actually spin over, then push the other way, and look for the frame to be like Samus is actually hanging on the wall, and then jump, and then you're allowed to jump. It's not explained very well.
It's horrible.
Yeah, they could have done a lot better there. Because
It's really hard to do.
The space jump works fine. I mean, it's not like it was everything else in the game isn't well controlled and well done.
I think that it was because they didn't want you to be able to do it until they told you how.
But you've been able to do it the whole time.
That's what I mean.
Maybe.
They didn't want you to do it, discover it by accident. They wanted you to discover it by being told you can do it.
And
then you go, oh god, I can do this?
What's even more interesting, that's the only place where you actually need to do it.
Kind of makes you wonder why it's there.
I mean, I wonder how many people just reset the game and then save somewhere else, to a previous save. And just, like, made sure they didn't fall in there. If that's possible.
Dispose of them.
Boss fight time. I like how the music in this changes based on how well you're doing. Confidence of victory. Let's see, what does he have?
The screen exploded.
Yeah. I hope he's just mostly attacks, no special moves. Because you don't get Aura of Denial for a long time.
Delta Shield!
Good, he's attacking first. What is strong against yellow? Green. Remember, he has some sort of charge ability. Question is how much damage it does. That's it. Thunder of Fury. Delta Shield's probably not useful.
You need to get yourself an Orcish Warhammer of maximum absorption.
Take care of all those
Nasty spells.
especially bloody spells.
Also, create all of them. The captain has donned his gilded loincloth of maximum flap.
Pirates of old, defend our
No,
cause.
do not avert your eyes. You have to look directly at it at all times or it will sense your fear.
It's like it's a Tyrannosaurus in the movie Jurassic Park. Or the Jurassic Park movie.
I can't see you if you don't move.
Exactly.
Are you guys talking about my loincloth again? Just don't move. Weeping Angel loincloth. You look away and it's closer when you look again. Don't blink. It slowly lifts. Don't look away from it.
You know, it lives in a way like, you know, like in those movies where they like open a box and there's like light inside, and they show their like the light beam slowly casting up their face, and their eyes like widen. It's like that, but with his long flap.
Moons, give me strength.
Yeah, I was gonna go there, G-Man. I was gonna say maybe it's like the Ark of the Covenant
Yeah, like open-
from Raiders.
Exactly. Apparently they've blown that up to IMAX size.
Yar, and that's why I can never be with a lady. Their faces always melt. God damn it, G-Man is like one step ahead of me.
Pirates of old.
Actually, he might be in the. Yeah, he's in the special booth.
Yeah, but those things were said still before we brought them up. Give cred where credit's due.
Yes.
Pirates of old, defend our cause!
So yeah, apparently they've done a 70mm blow up. Raiders of the Lost
The
Ark.
loincloth of the Covenant.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And when I was watching the preview for it, I turned to my fiance and said, for every frame they take out of there, or for every frame they change from the original, they should kill George Lucas. Seriously, you don't. I don't know if it has any changes. I suspect it doesn't. And it doesn't even
I'm
make
glad.
sense.
I'm glad that he was opting for no small measures. I thought you were gonna say like take one hair from his beard or something like that, but no. For every frame that's changed, George Lucas must die. He may die 1,000 deaths.
Basically.
But if you take his beard hairs, his strange chin formation will be exposed. What is up with his head? Has anybody else ever noticed that? He looks like a turtle. He has like a turtleneck or like a turkey. He has like there's just something strange about his head.
Defend our cause!
Wrong Town Claw says that Short Round is now in all 3 films as a CGI character.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine?
That would be,
So fucking awesome!
well, because, well, no,
I would watch that on Saturday morning.
Temple of Doom takes place, what, 2 years before Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Temple of what?
Temple of
Temple
Doom.
of Jim?
Temple.
That's what I heard.
They've
It's like
changed it.
Temple of
Indiana
Jim.
It's better for the kids. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Jim. All the insects are replaced by
They
rice.
have to invade some guy's man cave in his basement. A lot of people don't like Temple of Doom, but I liked it. It has so much good stuff.
Kalima.
Short Round, not the least of them.
But no,
I love
mean,
Short Round.
So Short Round, by the time of Short Round would have been like what 17 or 18 by the time the third one came out. By the fourth one, he'd be like in his 20s. It was in the 50s. He would be
Fourth
like
one.
the fourth one. Yeah, the fourth one he would be like in his 30s or 40s.
Indiana Jones is a trilogy.
Oh,
There's no fourth one.
okay. Yeah, there's no aliens. There's no fucking crystal skulls. There's no.
Radiation-proof refrigerators
There's no Shia
that
LaBeouf.
apparently don't have any fucking gravity inside them either.
Yeah,
Fuck
that was
that movie.
the fridge.
Indiana Jones is a trilogy. Everybody say it with me.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones
is a trilogy.
is a trilogy.
Indiana Jones is a trilogy.
And the Last Crusade is the fucking best one. Oh, it's so good.
I actually like
So
the,
fucking perfect.
I like the first one best.
It's a toss-up. And the first one's really fucking good, too. But, Sean Connery is the dad? Harrison Ford and
Yeah.
Sean Connery? I don't know. It was so good.
It was good, but I think that
Pirates of old,
the
defend our cause!
the first one has so many.
The first one has a certain sort of raw grittiness to it. It's just real good.
and it actually feels
The
more
second
tense
one I don't like.
because by the time of the third one, you're like, oh god, old people jumping around and doing awesome shit. Instead of it was just like, wow, this stuff is pretty. I don't know.
One thing, though, that's in the favor of The Last Crusade is that the first 2 movies were before there was like this switch over to when movies started to look how they look today. Like, there's a huge quality difference with The Last Crusade over Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom in terms of the film quality, the picture quality and such.
Well, I don't know.
Did you notice that?
I've seen the like restored DVD and Blu-ray cuts, and Raiders of the Lost Ark looks fantastic. But it's sort of like it's not as vibrant. It's a little like the colors are just a little desaturated.
G-Man's dropping the brain on us. He says it's because they were shot on traditional celluloid film instead of digital.
Yeah.
So that's why, that must be what the difference was that I was seeing.
Well, no, they were all shot on celluloid compared to today. I mean, today a lot of things are digital, but it would have all been shot on film. Up
Last
until-
Crusade?
Oh yeah, the first.
It looked dramatically better though, like so
Now,
much better.
I could see it being a different camera process or whatever, but the first movie that was shot all digital was like Attack of the Clones or something.
Whatever the case, something fucking changed. Something changed when you got to the Last Crusade because there was definitely a quality improvement. Now, top men.
Pops, I say.
Pirates of old.
But I could see that.
Wrongtown Claw says no movies were digital until about 5 years ago.
I mean, it's possible there's some sort of like advanced digital color processing or something that Last Crusade went under that the Raiders of the Lost Ark didn't.
I don't know. There was some sort of detectable difference. It was like the difference between the way 80s movies looked and the way 90s movies looked. And for me, The Last Crusade was the first one that I experienced that was like that. And then like every movie after that was like that. I don't know exactly what the difference was. I'm sure somebody knows somewhere.
Well, I think it has something to do with color saturation, because I will definitely tell you that older movies have definitely had color that feels less saturated. And eyes like popped out.
I always felt, when I was a kid, this is the true feeling that I had. I felt, when I saw Last Crusade and then watched Raiders of the Lost Ark felt blurry by comparison. If I watched them close together, that was how I felt about it. By the way, for those of you who had the VHS versions of the Last Crusade, do you remember the Coke commercial? Do you remember the Coke commercial? Do you?
Did I have that on VHS? I think
you have chose wisely.
Yes, I do remember that. God. I was like,
It's so fucking awesome. I'm digging that up right now. That kind of stuff went the same. It went the dodo like it went the dodo. It went the way the dodo, along with like old people making popular music and stuff like that. Like in the 80s, if you were over 30, you were still allowed to get like really into something. And Indiana Jones was really popular with people who were basically, by today's standards, on their way to the grave. Like, we should be picking out gravestones right now.
Oh,
whereas in the 80s, you were like still mainstream if you were in your mid-30s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a plot and everything. Oh, I want to share this, but the quality's so shit. I'm going to try to find a better version, but here's the commercial. My dad even had a whip and the fedora.
Look, speaking of Indiana Jones in those movies was mid-30s.
Yeah, he was, yeah, exactly. Oh wait, this looks like it might be a decent version. Yeah, here we go. Fuck that version, don't look at it. Nobody look at that version I sent before.
Did you send it to stream?
This was... Yeah, now I did.
Okay.
Why'd it have to be snakes? Oh yeah, I forgot about the woman having like this adventure in her own house. It has all the stuff from all the movies too.
Pirates of old, defend our cause.
I like how they couldn't actually get Harrison Ford to do the commercial, so they had to hide the guy's face.
Oh, there's a spider in here.
Kill it.
Are you gonna get a Diet Coke while you're fighting the spider? It's like she got visited by the phantom of Harrison Ford.
Alright, spider's down.
Woo.
That's gonna make your Diet Coke all the much sweeter.
Mm-hmm. I hate Diet Coke. It's basically piss water.
Yeah, fake Indiana Jones saves the day.
Yeah,
Steals the wife, apparently.
there really needs to be a like civilizational clause that's able to be enacted to save artistic works from their creators, like when they're starting to run them into the ground.
Well, that's
They
gonna.
should have done like 20 years ago with The Land Before Time.
Okay. Land Before
It
Time is a
got
good example.
ethically raped.
Land Before Time
Oh my God.
is an example, but Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Star Trek until the most recent. We could just call it J.J. Abrams' law. If a franchise is burned into the ground, turn it over to J.J. Abrams, it'll be fine.
No one will be able to make any sense out of that law, though, not long from now. Because there's going to be, like, original artistic works? What are those? All we have are these reality TV shows. Why can't I hold all these reality TV shows?
Oh, my balls.
You have balls?
Pretty much.
Nah, the
I know. I
inaccuracy.
was being funny. I'm sorry.
You should.
So what we're looking right now on Skies of Arcadia is what happened to Nakomi with the water.
I'm sorry.
Like you're not. Ko should be sorry.
No, I'm sorry you had to experience it as well.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to leave out the UKers, so...
Ooh.
This is so terrible.
I need to open this before Indiana Jones' Nutella commercial.
You gotta watch it.
Wow, that's such bad editing. But I guess at the time it wasn't. Alfred Molina with 2 slices of bread.
Yup. Wait. I like how it just has non-stop him beating the shit out of people after that.
After that, can't sell it, punch some Nazis. Wherever you adventure, fuel your day. Let's see, Calicam is asking if I'm a Firefly fan. Yes, I do. I love that show. I really wish it stayed on the air.
Yeah, but you can't bring things back from the dead.
No.
Only bad things come from that.
Zombies.
Yeah. It's not your true love. What you've brought back is a monster.
I'll be in my bunk.
Oh, Jane.
Yeah. Okay, if they can't... I really want to see just him have a show. Like, just the Jane Cobb... Is his name Jane Cobb? Jane Cobb. The Jane Cobb Hour. Where it's just, like, random skits of him, like, giving awesome one-liners while in the shit of everything. Frog Tech says the Russians can bring dogs back on the dead. See, because saying that requires so much actual knowledge about, like, the Russian experiments on that, and...
Yeah, but they did, though. That's the...
No, those were fake.
No, I don't think all of those things were faked.
Well, some of the like outrageous claims were not real.
What? What specifically?
There was a kooky scientist who claimed like he could like freeze dog heads or whatever for weeks on end and then reattach them and have the dogs keep going.
There was a real experiment where they attached a dog's like head and front legs to another dog.
That would be the same guy.
Yep.
There's footage of it. It was actually in that Doc Decoded thing that I was watching the other day.
And Coaster puts a link, and I don't want to see it because I'm worried that Killer Cam says besides Joss Whedon certainly will be busy with a Shield TV series and Avengers 2. Are they making a Shield TV series? That actually has a little bit of potential, I think, especially if Joss Whedon's at the helm, because he's only fucked up once.
I don't know if that's real or not, but it's fucked up either way.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Lawrence Plus says Joss Whedon wrote Alien Resurrection and made Angel and made Dollhouse. That's 3 already. Did he write Alien? I've never seen Alien Resurrection, but is he just credited on it, or did he write the whole thing? Because a lot of times scripts get certain treatments. Like if he just inserted jokes into Alien Resurrections, that's separate from actually writing the whole story.
Was that a list of his failures?
And
Wrong town clock.
Like
Drawn a line in the sand. If I remember, Angel was poop. I hated it whenever that came on. And you know I didn't care for Buffy. Which is why I avoided Firefly mistakenly. Because I thought, oh, it's from the guy who made Buffy? Well, fuck that show then. Amended that, though.
I like all those things. Angel ended
Buffy,
badly.
Buffy blows.
It's just they ran out of it.
And look at the source material.
Okay, if you want to talk about a show that ended badly because they ran out of funding, you need to check out His and Her Circumstances. Like, the last 3 episodes... Like, the actual story is kind of cute, but where they ended it in the series was, like, the creepiest fucking thing they could have done.
Yeah.
And the last, like, 3 episodes is, like narration and, like, sketchings. It's not even, like, animation anymore.
At least they ran out of money, though. I mean, like, there's an excuse. I don't think there's any excuse for what happened with Evangelion.
No, that was just...
I think it was pretty much written
up.
in to be batshit insane from the beginning.
Fire consume my enemies!
We're going to make 2 endings for you to choose from. But guess what? They're both fucking insane. I give Alien Resurrection a pass because it's a passable Alien movie.
I've never seen it. I've only seen the first 2.
You should watch it. You should watch 3 and Resurrection.
Enough of delay there. It's like 3.
3 is not as horrible as people make it out to be, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's because Alien is one of the best movies ever. Aliens is one of the best like action movies ever, or suspense action. What genre do you call that? Mostly.
James Cameron and David Fincher are alive.
Are you sure?
Resurrection is passable. I didn't say it was great. It has the me and Wrongtown Claw are fighting now. It has really good. It represents the environment really well in terms of that feeling that the Alien movies try to give you in terms of the sort of suffocating, space station-y, just all that crap. It reminds me a lot of Aliens in terms of how it, the way that it did the internals of that, whatever that was. It was a ship. I don't remember what kind of ship. So, it looked good. The environment was nice. It had some concepts that weren't awful. I liked how they kind of had like that whole kind of playing with the aliens genetically and behaviorally and stuff like that. Music was not good, no. Cast was a bit of a mix. Winona Ryder did good, I thought, as the android. But I don't know if I agree about Ripley being wrong.
I can imagine that in real life, too.
I'm sorry, I totally fucking blew that movie for you. I just totally blew it for you. And a lot of people who haven't seen it now. But you know what? Statute of limitation on spoilers.
There's always surprise androids in Alien movies.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, that is a running theme, but there's something... Just the way they did it in the movie, they did it well. You did it first take. Yeah, but they would have done the take over and over again if she didn't get it the first time. I think that since they were playing with the character, it's okay for them to explore Ripley. You have to keep in mind that the concept was that she's supposed to be part alien as well, so she's supposed to be a little bit weird and fucked up. I'm talking about Alien Resurrection, Kirby. But yeah, I would not put it on par with any of the other three. Nowhere close. It's almost like it's like a fan fiction. In a way, it's kind of like it's a fan fiction. My favorite is probably Aliens.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over. Stop your grinning and drop your linen. Most of the things that Hudson says are what makes that movie great. But there's lots more good shit in there. And that's another one of those movies where people get all of their shit that soldiers say for video games and other things like that. It's all from Aliens and fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Wrongtown Claw says it's the Lethal Weapon 4 of the Lethal Weapon trilogy. That's all with Jet Li, isn't it?
There's a sort of like a minefield having to do with sequels and quad-sequels. I don't know. Quadcles? Whatever. Fourth sequels and second sequels have a higher potentiality to be fucking awful than most other things.